Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing plantain porridge, but I'm going to be doing a different variation of it. So I'm going to actually do oats and plantain porridge. So we have the oats here and it's just regular oats, and I'm going to be using some coconut milk to help puree the plantain and the oats, and of course just the regular ingredients: condensed milk, clear vanilla, and nutmeg. We already have our water on the stove coming together, and there we have our cinnamon leaf. I know a lot of persons were asking, if you don't have cinnamon leaf, you can definitely use cinnamon stick, or you can just use the cinnamon if you would like. As I said, I just don't like using the cinnamon because I don't want it to, the color of it to change too much. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You can definitely make this vegan by removing the condensed milk from it and just using the coconut milk. And of course, you know, you have vegan condensed milk, whether it's the coconut condensed milk or any other version of it. So here, this is all we're going to be using. 2 plantains. They're medium sized, they're not too big. But maybe they're big for you, but trust me, they're bigger size plantains. So for me, this is medium size. Coconut milk, oats, clear vanilla, and some nutmeg. And of course, our condensed milk to sweeten. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Since our pot is almost boiling, you know, the first thing that we're going to do is to cut up the plantain and get it pureed in our blender. So let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and cut up our plantains, and as I've showed you before, it's really simple to do, not very difficult. You're just gonna cut the tops off, so just like this, cutting the top, cutting the bottom off, and then you're just gonna cut a slit down one side of the plantain, just like that. And then you're going to remove the skin from it. So you just put your finger underneath that little slit and remove the skin, and it's as simple as that, loves. As easy as that. Right? Once you do that, then I'm going to go ahead and cut up the plantain in our blender. Here we have it. So I'm just going to cut chunks of it in the blender. What I'm also going to do right now, I'm going to add a cup of milk to the blender, because you want to ensure that when you're blending, the liquid is at the bottom, so it helps to blend the plantain. So I have my measuring cup here, and I'm going to add. Now you don't have to use this coconut milk. For us Jamaicans, we can use a regular Grace coconut milk that comes in the can, or any canned coconut milk, but I had this on hand, so I'm going to use it. Let's go ahead and pour the 1 cup of coconut milk into the blender. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut up our next plantain. Move the top, move the bottom, find a corner of the plantain and cut a slit right. Alright, and then use your hands to get under the skin. Try to find a nice area. There we go. And then just run your hands down the length of the plantain and lift the skin off. Oops. There we go. Again, in our blender, we're just going to cut up the pieces in the blender. Don't want them too thick. You want them sizes that it will be easy to blend. Alright, so I'm definitely going to add another cup of coconut milk here, because I don't think we have enough because remember we're going to puree the oats. So that's the difference. That's how I make mine. I don't just put the oats in the mixture and just cook it. I put it in the blender and puree it all together. All right, so I'm going to add 1 cup of oats. As I said, it's just plain regular oats. I have this little cup in it, so it's about 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to put 4 of these in the blender. Alright love, so I'm going to go ahead and add the oats. I already put 1 in there, so as I said, I'm going to put about 1 cup. So that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. So just 4 I'm putting in. Of course, I'm going to add just a sprinkle of salt, just a little tip. That's it. And now we're going to go ahead. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and puree all of this in the blender. Alright, so let's cover it, because as I said, our water, sorry, I just got sidetracked. Our water is boiling already, so we want to ensure that we get this into the pot while it is boiling, and we don't want all the water to boil out of the pot either. Okay, so let's get to blending. So once I start blending, we're gonna go mute because you don't want to hear all of that noise. Alright, love, so let's get blending. You should smell in here because the cinnamon leaf is already in the pot. Oh my gosh, it smells so awesome already. So let's get blending, guys. Alright loves, as you can see, the water is completely boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and add the pureed mixture to it. And you see how thick it is. Now once you start pouring in, you need to start mixing at the same time. Don't wait and allow it to get clumpy. You want to start using your whisk and whisking at the same time so that it will be smooth and really nice. Now, I know some persons may not puree the oats when they're doing this. They'll just add the oats to the plantain mixture when it's already in the pot, but I don't want it like that. I want to puree it out because I kind of like it when it's smooth. So this is how I do it. Now once I mix it out, I notice everything is incorporated, then I know that I'm okay. I'm going to continue mixing, but I still have all of this in the blender that I want to get out. So I'm going to throw 1 cup of water in the blender and mix out all of that is still in there, because of course, as I normally say, we're not wasting anything. So hear the blender, hear me mixing. So it's just really simple. I just throw the water in it and just mix up that's it. Alright, and then I go ahead and pour out the rest. And that's it. So I'm going to continue mixing this together. Now I've turned the stove on till medium-low, and trust me loves, it is already getting extremely thick. So I just want to mix it because I want very nice and smooth consistency. So generally I continue mixing until I see the porridge itself starts to bubble. Once the porridge itself starts to bubble, then I turn the fire on low, the lowest it can get, and then cover it and leave it to continue cook for about 15 minutes. Because trust me, it's not going to take very long to come together. The plantain and the oats doesn't take long to cook. It's not like cornmeal that you want to ensure that it's properly cooked. Plantain and oats don't take that long. So I said it's not much different from the plantain porridge that I've made before. The only difference is this time I added oats to it, and I ensure that I puree the oats with the plantain mixture. That's it. Alright, so if you notice, it's starting to get really thick, and that is what I love to see. But as I said, I'm waiting for it to start to boil, and it will take a little time because you are mixing it. So while you're mixing, you're preventing the boiling from happening because it's not staying stagnant, but it will start boiling, trust me. And especially because I turned the stove down. Oh my god, the more look at that, it's just getting thicker and thicker. That's what I love to see. Alright love, so you see it's starting to boil. Now I did add about 1 more cup of milk to this because it was very thick, and while I want it thick, I don't want it to the point where it's pudding. I still want to be able to drink it. So this is how it looks now, and it has been cooking for about 10 minutes already. Now I'm smelling the plantain very strong in it, and the cinnamon together, so I know that this is about ready to be finished. So you notice how thick it is, and I want it that way because remember when we add the condensed milk to it, it's going to thin it out a little bit more. So I don't want it too liquidy, so when I add the condensed milk to it, then it's water. Because I don't know about you, but I hate when my porridge look like water, right? So this is how it looks, and as you can see, that's a piece of cinnamon leaf right here. So this is about done, love. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put some vanilla. Now I don't normally measure the vanilla, I just pour in. So I have this Sir Henry clear vanilla. It's not focusing, so I'm just gonna pour some in. And of course mix that out. There we go. Oh my gosh. You add the vanilla. Yo, I don't know nobody else, but I love when I'm baking or cooking and you add something and you just, the whole kitchen smells like it. I love it! So there we go, and I'm going to go ahead. I have half a nutmeg here, and I'm going to grate that right into our pan. So it's these little graters that we use, and we just grate the fresh nutmeg into the pot. And guys, when you add this and you start mixing it, and the scent, the aroma, I don't want to scent, the aroma, yes, it smells so good. And then we're just gonna mix that into the porridge. Oh, Jesus. Yes. We see still have a little bit on the thing. No, I want all of it going in the porridge. I'm sorry. No wasting around here. Right? Just mix all of that together. And guys, we're about finished because I said it has already been cooking for about 10, so it's about 15 minutes now that it has been cooking for. And this is pretty much done. Because I said the plantain is not going to take very long to cook, and everybody know oats 2 seconds and oats cook. So it really doesn't take that long to come together. So I know it might look very thick right now, but when we add the condensed milk to it, you're gonna see. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stove off now, and we are going to add our condensed milk. So of course we know that we will be using our Nestle full cream condensed milk. Right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open it and pour it into the mixture. Alrighty. And there we go. Adding our condensed milk to it. And as I said, this will allow it to be a little, it's gonna water it out just a little bit. And because it's this big pot, I'm going to use one entire can. And then we're going to just look at it. Look in there. Just look at that. Now you just mix that all out. See? It just lightened it just a tad bit. But that is how I like to see my porridge, thick and nice. Now I can tell persons now if you don't have enough. So another reason why you can make it like this is maybe you want to make plantain porridge, but you don't have a big plant, you have a very small one. You can definitely add the oats to it, or you just want the mixture because you're adding the oats to it will make it a little more filling. So that is another reason for adding the oats, and it's just giving it a different flavor. Alright, so just mixing to ensure that everything is fully incorporated, and we're done. That's as simple as that, and our porridge is all done, loves. That is it. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, trust me, it is so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate it, so the next time you see us, we'll be pouring it into our bowls. Yes. Alright, loves, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour in our porridge into our bowls. Now the remainder of that I'm actually going to use for breakfast for 2 days. So I have some little containers and I'm going to pour them in the containers. But look how much we have left, love. So if you're making, you can definitely make this for a family of 4 or 5 because you have enough in there to serve, but it just depends on how much you're serving. So there we go. Look at that steam. coming out, loves. Just look at it. Alright, loves, and you know the drill. We're going to add some crackers to this when we're eating it. But that is it, loves. So that is it. So our oats and plantain porridge, and we still have half of it left in our pot. There we go. So loves, remember to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe, and most definitely hit that notification bell. If you have not, please go tell your friend, your father, your mother, your auntie, your grandmother, everybody to come and subscribe to my channel. And for those who already have, I appreciate, like, I reached 100 the other day and I was so excited. Like, I know it's just 100, but oh my gosh, I was so excited. So thanks so much for subscribing, loves, and I will see you in the next video.